Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial just before the new year, and I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas. I hope you've all got lots of presents of paints, brushes, canvases, that kind of thing, and I hope you've all been enjoying your painting. We're going into a new year, and with that it's going to bring new tutorials. I might start focusing on sets or a series of tutorials, so maybe a series of snow scenes, then a series of autumn scenes and so on, seascapes, sunsets, that type of thing. It's just an idea, and lots more fun, and I think in 2019 I'm going to get a lot more plein air tutorials. So we'll go outside with the camera, we'll set the camera up on a tripod and we'll just do a bit of painting. How about that? I'm thinking maybe up the game slightly. What do you think? Up the game. This time I'm going to do a lovely little autumn scene which was requested. It's one that I already painted actually. I have it for sale, but I got so many comments of yourselves asking me could I do a tutorial on this. So I'm going to do a nice tutorial on a very easy autumn scene, but it's very eye-catching, okay? And it's very, very simple steps. It really is very simple actually. It's just a series of small steps, but it's a really eye-catching kind of a picture. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm keeping in mind all of the time I get lots of new comments from beginners learning to paint, so I want to kind of go back to some kind of basic techniques just for those beginners, and at the same time create really nice paintings. So it won't be out of reach even for the professional artist. You will enjoy painting this, even though it's just very simple techniques. So I just want to aim these, just for now, at the beginner, amateur type of painter, because I know you're having trouble kind of getting basic techniques down on canvas. So that's the purpose of this one. Now, I have a lovely canvas board. Now, I just primed this board once. It's 20 inches by 10. No, I'm wrong. It's 16 inches by 10. A canvas board. Primed twice, and I have my palette of colours here. Nice earthy colours, warm colours. So, don't go anywhere. Let's have a bit of fun with this. And this will be the last tutorial of 2018. So let's have a bit of fun with this one. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay, so you should see the photograph on your screen there. Isn't that lovely? And it's actually very, very simply done. Specifically with the eyes, because you can get some lovely soft faded colours in the background. And I'm going to show you how I can paint this just with very basic techniques and a little bit of fun. It doesn't have to be complicated. Now let me name up my colours here. I have on a paper palette here titanium white, Naples yellow, a little cadmium yellow pale, a little, well not a little, some burnt sienna, some burnt umber, some naphthol crimson or regular crimson will do fine, and a little touch of black. I don't think we need any blues in this for now. Actually, do you know what I will do? My apologies. I will just put out a tiny, tiny little touch of phaylo blue. Just for shadows, okay? Just for a couple of tiny shadows in behind the trees. Just to make it a little purple. That's all. So here we go. Nice little palette here, nice warm colours. And I have a little bit of turpentine in my jar here. You don't have to use turpentine as such. You can mix with, let me show you. If you like, you can just use linseed oil. That's completely fine to use, even on its own. I've used it many times on my own. I just like the turpentine. It kind of tins the paint just nicely. But you can get this in odourless as well. I don't mind it. I don't mind the smell off of this really. It's not that bad in here because I have windows and stuff that I can open. But if you're in a house, a bedroom or whatever, just buy odourless turpentine, and it's great stuff. It's really great. So look, here we go. For those of you who are using water mixable oils, you'll just be using water, won't you? A little tiny drop of water. They're pretty much the same. The consistency might be slightly different. I just prefer these because I've grown up using these and I just don't want to change. It's just the way I like painting. I just like these oil-based paints, tinned with turpentine. That's just my preference. Okay, let's go. Enough blabbering on about me here. Here we go. big jar of brushes. Alright, lots of old worn brushes. Most of my brushes will be very worn like this, you see. Because I love painting with worn brushes, it gives a very natural effect when painting. Green stubby brush there. I have a medium one. And there's a small one there somewhere. So that's just a nice selection of small flat brushes. I use mostly flat brushes. That's just my preference. I have 2 more green stubby brushes here which are quite worn. I have another one here. I use this one actually. That's a nice one. So I'll take my large green stubby brush now. If you want these I can send them to you, no problem. Just give me an email. Large green stubby brush or a large flat brush, whichever one you have. I'm going to dampen it with the turpentine. Okay, so it's just damp, and I'm going to soak off the excess like that. And I'm going now. You can see on the photograph there, it's very bright up here, isn't it? I'm going to use a lot of white in this. So I'm going to take some white, and you see, because there's a lot of pink and red down here, I want to complement that in the sky. So I'm going to take just a touch of the crimson, just a tiny touch. Okay, look, it's a very whitey pink, and I might take a slight touch of lamp black. Again, just a touch. So you can see now it's pretty much mostly white in this. And let's go up here, and you can see how watery that is now. It's kind of almost running down very slowly. So let's add a touch of white into that, thicken it up slightly, and then coming right across here now with this, and I'm going to take a touch more black into that, just to make it a little grayer. As it comes down, you can see that okay. So it's a kind of a warm pinkish grey. That's what I'm kind of aiming for at the moment. Now I'm going to leave this corner nice and bright up there. Alright, we can add to it as we go, no problem at all. Now there's something making noise back there, and it's really there. That's better. Let's take some more black. As it comes down, I'm going to add a little bit more black to this. Now that's too much, so go back into your white. And we're getting really thick paint here now. And into this I'm going to take a touch of, off in the distance there I can see kind of a pinkish kind of a colour. A touch of that red, that crimson. And as it comes down, I'm just going to start slowly adding that in. Now this is really just to simulate trees off in the distance. So what I'm going to do is, you know what we will do first? Let's draw a suggestion of where the footpath is going to start, okay? It'll start around there, just to get our lines, and come down like that. Okay, simple. And we know where to stop then. Okay, so we stop there just like that. So you can see now my black has a hint of pink in it. And it's a lovely warm colour. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to soften this around, but I'm going to dab with the brush, look, to create the impression of distant, very distant trees, way off. See? And I'm going to soften it right into the background, right up there. And dab over the whole lot then with your brush, just dabbing away like this, up and down, like so. Now you can use your fan brush for this if you like. You can use your blender brush also to soften some of that in. Let's try it. So I have a nice soft blender brush here. Just going to soften some of that in. Here and there, look. There, soften out the edges. Just going side to side like that. So now you can see it's all softening in, and we have an impression of some kind of bits of trees off in the distance there. Now what I might do is just clean my brush quickly and add a bit more white to this. So I'm going to pick up a little white, and I'm going to add a little touch more white to this side here because it's nice and bright. I want it nice and bright in this corner. There we go. Now that'll do fine. So as you come across here, you can see it gets darker, doesn't it? So I think with this brush, the same brush, I'm not going to clean it, I'm going to pick up some burnt umber, and I'm going to mix all this down in the very same place. Pick up some burnt umber, and let's pick up a touch of the crimson, and I'm going to just, with that colour then, thick colour on my brush, I'm going to just fill in this little corner here. I'm scrubbing this now, scrubbing it into the canvas because it's quite thick, the paint. And as you go into the inside, just dab it slowly so it begins to form little trees and bits of foliage on trees, that type of thing. See, I'm just dabbing, dab, 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 dab. And let's go right up here then, look. So because the brush is very kind of splayed, you see, it's creating little texture of leaves and that type of stuff. Very, very easily. You see how easy that was? Now let's make it darker as we come down. So as we get further down, let's start adding more burnt umber just on its own first. And I'm going to come down like this. See the way I'm turning my brush downwards? Like this. Then I'm going to pick up a little burnt sienna. Let's try little burnt sienna too. See, that's a nice warm colour, isn't it? And I'm softening all this together very gently, but not too much. I want to keep the leafy effect, see? And then I'll pick up a little tiny touch of black and go right down the bottom here with some black. Just barely touching it as you go, see? Now that's created a nice little bit of depth in the corner, hasn't it? So that's one side pretty much almost finished. Let's put this down now for a moment, and let's take a small brush, a nice pointy brush, okay? A little detail brush. Wet that brush, and let's get some burnt umber. I want to just indicate a suggestion of some, no, a touch of black as well. I want to indicate just a suggestion of some tree trunks and branches and that type of stuff off in the distance. So look, very, very loose flicks up. Just a couple here and there. See? Isn't that easy? Nice and simple. Keeping it simple. And I'm going to put a couple of flicks higher up here. And you can see I'm hardly even touching the canvas. It's just kind of a hit and miss here and there. Because remember, a lot of this will be covered by foliage, so you don't have to get these absolutely perfect first time. So there we are. And let's go over to the left hand side and add a couple over here. Just a suggestion of a few. And they're kind of disappearing off into the distance then, you see? There. So do you follow? You have that so far. Next. Now let me see what we have in there. I'm going to put one or two dark ones. So I'm going to dampen my brush and take some black. And I'm going to take a touch of burnt sienna. Okay, I'm going to dampen that now, and I'm going to make a nice creamy mix. And I'm going to put a nice dark one just here. So give it a little wiggle as you go up. So start off nice and thick at the bottom, and then lift off as you go up. And that gives it a nice, natural looking tree. See? And then just give a couple of little flicks off of that. A couple of wiggles here and there. Now don't go overboard with this, because we have a lot of foliage covering this, and it's autumn time, so the trees are quite sparse, to be honest. Let's put a little one just next to it there like that. So we have one tree. Now, if you look closely you can see little bits of red kind of flicks of paint here and there. I'm going to take some with the same brush, some of that crimson, and I'm going to take a touch of burnt sienna, and with that colour now I'm going to suggest just put some little flicks here and there with that, just to suggest some foliage kind of off in the background. And what you could even do with that as well, let's take a touch of white. So with your brush on its side, you could drag very gently, just like that, see? Here and there. And I won't go overboard again, I'm just going to be nice and careful with this. I'm going to pick up some Naples yellow also, and I'm going to put a little suggestion of some of that colour in here and there. Now let's go again. That's a nice colour, isn't it? So I'm allowing all these colours now to mix on the canvas. I'm just kind of dragging it around here and there. Okay, see? And I leave it. Let's just leave it at that for now. That looks pretty good. I don't want to ruin it, I don't want to just keep going at one corner. Let's move across here now and get this big bank in here. So I'm going to clean this brush just very quickly, dip it into your turpentine and give it a very quick clean, just to get the bulk of the paint off. And it's quite pinky, isn't it? There's a lot of pink going through this side over here, so I'm going to take some of that crimson and some burnt umber, and I'll take a touch of Naples yellow as well, and that'll just lighten it slightly. Now let's try this. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's take a touch of white in that. Because it's so far off in the distance, I want to keep it nice and kind of soft and pale. See? Now as it comes forward, it's going to start getting darker, isn't it? So you can see all I'm doing is dabbing. Dab, 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 dab. Moving the brush in kind of a circular motion. Now we can put some on this side too. And it's kind of picking up some of the darker colour, you see, and it's moving it around nicely. Isn't that lovely? I like that, that's quite nice. So it's getting quite darker, so I'm going to add perhaps some burnt sienna, and I'm going to come along here and just form this bank on the left. So let's get really dark now as it comes right down here. Nice and dark, so some burnt umber, some burnt sienna. Again, it's pretty much a dry brush. There's hardly any turpentine in this at all. And the trick with this is not to kind of mix over the same area too much. Just take it easy. Lots of little dabs, but I'm not kind of going right over the entire thing again and again and again. Let's take some burnt sienna and let's form this bank over here. Now that's a bit brown, so a little bit of pink as well. Let's just fill that in first like this. Okay, and dab it up into those bushes there. So everything then kind of gently softens together, doesn't it? Right. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. What I might do is just add some darker texture into this with some black. I'll take some black and some pink, and because there's a lot of shadow down here, isn't there? So I'm just going to kind of jump around with the brush. Again, not too much in the same place. And I'm going to just create a little shadow at the end of this bank here. Now it will move out into the roadway as well. We can worry about all of that in a minute. But see, we can kind of drag it across out onto the road. Let's take some Naples yellow and let's get some burnt sienna into that. Okay, so dab, 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 and you can see how it just kind of comes down and onto the road. Okay, let's get some trees off here, will we? Come on, let's have a bit of fun with these trees. Let's take a nice round brush, something decent, a decent size. Enough to paint a nice thick tree anyway. And let's take some black. And let's take a touch of red. That'll give us a nice warm black, won't it? So I can see we have a nice tree around here, don't we? So let's get that in, give it a little bend on it, okay? Slight bend. Because that'll kind of bring it right into the centre of the painting when it has a bend like this. And let's just, nice thick trunk on this now. We don't need too many branches on this one because there's just a lot of foliage on this. And bring it down into that bank, and let's stick another one just kind of behind this, just like that. And what I'm going to do then, with the same brush, we have a lovely kind of a foliage there. It's almost a bit, there's a touch of yellow in it. Let's take some Naples yellow, and let's take a touch of the pink, and mix those quickly now. Lots of thick paint, and let's just kind of drag. You see the technique? I'm just kind of dragging it along here and there. You could use your big brush for this now as well, but I kind of like this very rough kind of textured feeling off in the distance. Let's get a little dark on there. Let's pick up some of that darker colour. Some burnt sienna. So you can see I'm just with the side of the brush on its edge, on its flat edge, just dragging. See? Just dragging it down here and there, kind of giving a little flick. Now, clean our brush, and let's go right in and pick up some Naples yellow on the tip of your brush. There, look at that. And let's put a couple of little flicks of that here and there. I can see lots of lovely Naples yellow in there. Now I'm cleaning my brush every so often to keep this colour nice and clean on my brush. There. So how's that? Now it just adds a lot of interest into the distance, doesn't it? Put a little on this side too, look. And there we are. How's that looking? Quite nice. So I'm going to put in the footpath. Okay, let's get another brush for our footpath. A little flat brush here. You can use your medium flat brush if you like. Or your medium stubby, shall we say. I have one here but I can't find it. It's just gone missing. Here we are. Medium stubby brush. Let's dampen it very gently, and now let's put it in the colour of the patch. So there's a lot of pink, isn't there? Let's take some crimson and take some Naples yellow, and let's take a touch of white. And off in the distance there, let's start pulling that in. There we go, look at that. That's a nice colour now, isn't it? And I'm softening it into the banks as well, so I'm kind of picking up some of the colours from the bank, you see, and it's all getting lovely and soft, all pulling together nice and gently. And we come down here then. All I'm doing is I'm pulling it left and right. There's no special technique to this. Just swooping left and swooping right. See, I'm pulling colours together, look. Pull all those nice colours together, make it nice and soft. And it's as easy as that, it really is. So what I'm doing then, you see, is when I get to the sides, I'm flicking up in to the bank, you see. So it's kind of swooping down onto the roadway. It's all about that brush stroke. just there, see? And we'll do the same with this. So then we have a nice transition from the road up into the bushes. So you can see what I'm aiming to get. And it was so simple, wasn't it? It was just a couple of simple steps, a couple of strokes backwards and forwards, and that was it. Easily done. What I might do next is, well, let me see about this here. We do have another tree here. I might put another big black tree in there. What do you think? Let's try that. So let's get our big brush again and take some black, and let's take a touch of red. Plenty of paint this time, and I'm going to put a nice dark tree now in just here. And dampen your brush with your turpentine if you feel that it's too thick and it's not going on. And I'm just putting a suggestion of some branches coming off. It's just a couple of little flicks here and there, really. There's no detail in this, you can see yourself. There's no detail whatsoever. Now, there we are, that's that. And then I'm cleaning my brush, and I'm going to put a hint of bright highlight on that. Some Naples yellow with some white, and a touch of that pink. And let's just suggest a little highlight on the light side of that, see? Just a small one. And clean your brush each time. And a little one here. And I'll put a little highlight on this one down here, just here and there, see? Just like so. We do have another big one here in front of it, don't we? I'll get a bigger brush for that. I will take a small kind of a flat brush, okay? Your small flat stubby brush if you have one. And let's get again more black. Now plenty of turpentine in this. And that way it'll flow nicely over the paint underneath, because this paint is still wet underneath, so you want it nice and thin to move along it nicely. So let me show you. So you can see it's a nice creamy texture, isn't it? So let's start. There we go, and pull it up, and we go across at a slight angle, will we? So why not? Come on, let's have a bit of fun. There, clean your brush again to tissue, go back into it, and let's take maybe just one branch off it up on top here, like so. And maybe with our smaller brush we could always stick another branch in down low here like this. Okay, done. Now there's more light on this, so let's take some Naples yellow, a touch of cadmium yellow this time, lots of white, and let's suggest a nice highlight just on the left hand side of that, because the light is coming from the left hand side over here, so we want that nice rich highlight just there. Okay, and then clean our brush again, and we make a nice dark shadow for the back. Some phaylo blue, some of the red, and let's put in a nice dark purpley kind of a shadow just in behind that tree there. Look, see, just there. Soften it in with downward strokes. Now I'll put a bit on this tree over here as well. And sit back and take a look. So we now have 3 little trees, don't we? The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my big stubby brush, give it a quick clean in my turpentine and clean it on the tissue. Just very quickly again, okay? Nice and quick. And I want to put some lights on this hair. So I'm going to take this and dip it into some cadmium yellow, and I'm going to take some crimson and then a touch of white. So now we have this lovely colour on the tip, and the sunlight coming across hitting the bushes just here and there in front of the trees, you see, look. So I'm going to soften it then up into the trees behind. Understand? And I'm going to soften them down into the pathway as well at the same time. So you can see now I've very simply created some light points hitting those bushes, haven't I? And let's put a couple over here just on the tips of these as well, just to show the light is kind of catching the tips of those, just here and there. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on and get another tree done on the front here. So let's take our small flat brushes again. Let's make a nice rich dark colour for these. Okay, some black, and let's take a touch of crimson. You see, I want to keep it dark but warm at the same time. So that crimson will just warm up that black slightly. So here we are, look, nice watery colour. And we have two very close together here, don't we? So let's pull one up like that. Let's make this a nice thick one now, yes? So you can see it now kind of picking up the background colour, but that's fine. Not to worry. We will go over this a couple of times, just to make sure it stays nice and dark. So let's get some more red now and some more black, look. Nice thick paint. And let's put that on there, see? And then, right next to that, we have another one, don't we? It's almost like two trees coming off of one little stump, isn't it? So I'm going to put that down now and switch to my other smaller size, little roundy brush. And I'm going to make a nice dark purpley colour again. So some phaylo blue or French ultramarine, whichever one you have. And make a nice dark colour, nice plummy kind of a colour. So, you know, it's a kind of a reddy plummy colour. And let's put that down on the shadow side again. Now you probably can't see this very well on camera, but I can see it. I can see that bit of shadow just there. In fact, we could even add a touch of white into that colour, and even down here, see, put a nice kind of a cool shadow. Isn't that nice? So a little cool kind of a blue just down at the base of that tree trunk there. See? It just gives it a bit of life, doesn't it? So everybody following along nicely, yes? We're all happy? I will, let me see now. I suppose we better add some light onto these, will we? So clean your little brush, and let's go for some Naples yellow and a touch of the crimson. Now plenty of Naples yellow in this, and a touch of cadmium yellow as well. And let's just add a hint of that here and there with the brush. Now when it gets dirty, clean it, okay? And then pick up the colour again, and we'll add some to this one, just here and there, a couple of flicks, a couple of very light flicks, look. Again, I'm not going overboard with this. And let's bring one or two like that. Okay, how are we looking? Now let's add a touch more of cadmium yellow to this tree over here, because I can see there's a lot of yellow just coming onto that tree there. Okay, that's fine. That'll do absolutely fine. We can add more as we go. Yes? So our next move is, I'm thinking with this brush, let's take some of that crimson, nice rich crimson with some of the tiny bit of black that's already on it, and I'm going to add some nice red foliage, some nice rich foliage onto this tree here. Okay, so you can see how I'm doing. I'm just kind of dragging the brush on its edge, just like so. Let's even take a touch of Naples yellow into that. I'm picking up lots of different colours as I go, you see. I must get some more crimson. My crimson has gone. So let me get some here. Not all crimson. And I'll pick up some of that now. And here and there add some nice rich red, see? Little bit of red in the... It's just a suggestion of some red foliage here and there, that's all. And we can pick up some burnt sienna as well. And go up here with some burnt sienna. And drag it around here and there. Okay, sit back, have a look. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I'm fairly happy with that. We could take some Naples yellow with some white perhaps, and add a touch of that on here and there. Now, okay, let's leave it at that. I want to come over and put a bit of red on this one over here. I'll use this technique for this one, just a couple of flicks of the red here and there. And I'm keeping it in kind of bunches, see? Little tight bunches together. So that's just another technique that you can do as well. Nice easy technique. Flicking it out left and right, okay? Have a bit of fun with it, don't be shy. Look, it's only paint. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, you'll make a mistake and we'll just go over it. Nice simple techniques. Really try it. Just don't be afraid to try and mess around with your brush and have a bit of fun. You won't ruin it, I promise. Okay, I'm going to pick up my medium stubby brush. Now it's slightly splayed out, see it? That's exactly what I want. I'm going to take some of the black here with some red, and I'm going to put some dark shadows coming down from those trees. Okay. Now a touch of sienna as well. So just bring that across and up into the tree then, see? So it disappears up into the tree. And I want more red than that, don't I? There's a lot of red in this painting. There, that's better. And I'm going to dab, 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 dab all the way down, bring it across, nice and gently. So it's kind of merging down into one, isn't it? And then I'm going to come across the other side, and I'm going to pick up some crimson with some sienna, and add a little bit of shadow here and there over on this side with that colour, see? Just dab, 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 dab. Now I'm thinking at this point I might switch to the fan brush. So let's try and create some nice texture with the fan brush, yes? I have here a lovely fan brush, and I'm going to start by dampening it very slightly. So So I hope you can follow me along now with all of this. I hope I'm not going too quickly for you. I do apologise. First of all, I'm going to take some of the crimson on my brush, and I'll take a touch of Naples yellow in that, and even a touch of cadmium yellow as well. Let's make a nice warm colour. And I'm going to go up here and start bringing that across. So I'm creating the path now, lots of texture on the path. Okay? And start picking up more crimson as you come down. So let's take a touch more yellow in this now because it's nice and warm. You see there's a touch of yellow here and there as well. Give it a bit of colour. Don't be shy. I'll pick up a bit of white and I'll soften some off in the distance. There, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? So everything now is kind of softening together. See? And I'm bringing it up the bank as well. So I clean my brush now again and I go into some crimson and some sienna again. I want that nice dark colour right down the front here. See? It's nice and rich, isn't it, there? Just down at the front. So let's put in plenty there. And you can see some of the colour underneath kind of showing through, that grey colour. So that's really helping, isn't it? Now we have lots of black here, so let's pick up some black. Just black on its own. And let's start bringing some black down and turning the brush as it's going, see? So we have, now I want to put a very strong shadow in from this tree. So let's just bring this right across our path, see? That's that tree now, casting a shadow. And pick up more. We have maybe a touch of crimson as well. And we have a little one casting a shadow up there, don't we? Like that. That's quite nice. And down at the front end we put another shadow kind of just popping out here and there, see? So perhaps there's another tree off in the left here that we can't see, and it's casting a shadow. Now there's one very important area where there's a shadow as well, up here behind these trees. Just dab dab, and dab dab just like that. So now we have a shadow up there, don't we? So how's this looking? Looking quite nice now, isn't it? Let's sit back and take a look. So how are we getting on with this? Are you enjoying it? This is pretty fun, isn't it? Now I'm cleaning my small pointy brush and I'm just going to take some of this rich yellow. And I'm going to add a couple of flicks of that here and there. Just on the floor. Okay, it's just some foliage that has fallen down, just to add a bit of colour. Just add a bit of colour to it, that's all, look. Even a bit of white. And I'm going to take a fan brush, a smaller fan brush, and I'm going to take some of the cadmium yellow with some of the white, and even a touch of pink. Now what I want to do is create some light coming through here and there, see? I come down here and add a bit of, that's a nice colour, so I'll add a little touch of it there. Okay, and then I will take some red on its own. I just want to make this a little more on the red side, so I'm just dabbing some red with the tip of the fan brush, just kind of here and there. And some sienna. And I'll take a small brush again, I think. I'll pick up some little bits of red, and let's add some little bits of leaves here and there just on the floor, alright? Because it is autumn after all, and it will have a lot of leaves and stuff falling to the ground. So yes, let's do it. Why not? And let's try some brighter ones. A little touch of yellow with a touch of white. And let's add a couple of those here and there. See? All I'm trying to do is just add some interest into the painting. I'm not painting actual leaves, it's just a suggestion of different lights and darks just down on the floor. That's all it is really. If you like painting each leaf individually, then excellent, go for it. But I'm just keeping this nice and simple for now. Alright, let's have a look around now and see how we're doing. Let's lighten slightly the tree just there. So there's a nice glow from that. So yeah, we're going pretty nicely along here now, aren't we? I lightened this one just slightly. Yeah, just a little bit of light colour there. I'll add a little sienna to this tree here. And I might, with my small brush, just lighten one or two areas over here. So perhaps a little yellow, little white, little pink, and just add a touch of light colour along the bank here, see? Just where there might be some sunlight catching. Just there. Now that's fine. Okay, you don't have to overdo it. Next we have people, don't we? So how would you paint a person, you might ask? Alright, let's show you a quick and easy way of painting a figure of people walking. Just think of a carrot. Okay, wide at the top and getting narrow as it comes down. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Well, it is very easy. Lots of white paint on your brush, and let's paint a carrot. Okay, a simple carrot. Okay, wide at the top and pointy as it comes down. There, that's a carrot, isn't it? Would you agree? Clean our brush again. Let's go for yellow with a little white this time and paint another carrot. Okay, I'm going to paint the top half of a carrot this time. Clean our brush again. Let's get some blue. Let's take some blue, phthalo blue, and paint the bottom half of this carrot in phthalo blue. Okay, easy enough, wasn't it? Let's take some, let's get some burnt umber and paint the bottom half of this carrot burnt umber. So there. Now I'll add a little shadow just here and there to some of these. Let's take a little black. I'll add a little touch of black across there. Just here and there, just to give a little detail, that's all. And one carrot will have its arm around the other carrot, won't it? So this one will have its arm kind of coming around like that. Now let's give our carrots a head. Let's go for burnt umber on the first one. Okay, a little dot on top of the carrot. There's the head. And on the next carrot, because let's imagine it's a woman, this carrot will have a little tail on its head. So paint a little dot and then a little tail coming down. See? Like so. Now let me zoom in and show you. So there. Now they're going to have a little shadow, aren't they, coming away. So at the base of these carrots, pull a little shadow over to the right hand side like this. Okay, job done. Just like that. So let's have a look around now and show you what we did. nice simple techniques. So we created a nice little autumny scene here in very easy to follow steps. You could keep adding little bits here and there if you wish. It's completely up to yourself. In fact, look, what I'm going to do is, just here I want to add some more of that yellowy kind of colour. It's quite nice. So I'll take some cadmium yellow and some white. And let's imagine there's a particular tree there with some yellow foliage on it. There. Job done. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to sign. Let's get some black and let's sign our names. S. Conway. Now I will probably let this dry and sign it properly. There. Job done. Are we happy with that? Let me turn the camera here now so you can see. So there. Isn't that quite nice? A little autumn scene. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Is this all the way back here? No, it's not. Look at that. Right. We are ready. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, my last painting of 2018. I look forward to seeing you all in 2019. Let me know what you think of this. Have a go and email me on your photographs of all your work. I'd love to see how you're doing. Just send them to stephenconway12@gmail.com, and I would love to see how you're getting on and give you advice and take some comments and hints and tips from you as well. That helps me keep going. So thank you very, very much for your support. If you're interested in getting those little stubby brushes, just let me know. On my email, I'll get them out to you. Thank you very much for your help and support. You've been very generous in 2018. I can't thank you enough. I'm humbled. So I will see you all after the new year. Have a wonderful new year, everyone. I wish you all the best for 2019. Lots of happiness, prosperity, lots of painting. So go and get your brushes and have a bit of fun. I'll see you next year. God bless and thank you all.